Microsoft has acquired GitHub. Blockchain developers are migrating to the other platforms. This is how developers protest against the corporate takeover of an open source repository. It is reported by Bitcoinist. The advantages of buying for GitHub are financial stability and steady progress. Microsoft purchased the repository for $7.5 billion. But for blockchain developers who form standards for an open source software and freedom from corporate control, Microsoft's involvement is discontent. Solidary coders have published calls to abandon the platform and move to an alternative repository, GitLab. According to the data showing the load of repositories, it becomes clear that the migration has begun. More than 1,000 tweets with the hashtag moving to GitLab quickly appeared in the network. The company forced the decision of developers and offered a discount of 75% on tariff plans. Other developers have proposed the Keybase platform, which provides private encrypted repositories with identity binding through the blockchain. Leading developer of Bitcoin Core, Vladimir van der Laan, believes that the BTC repository should also leave GitHub. The head of GMO at the presentation of the miner: "I respect Bitmain, but we will bypass them." This was stated by the general director of GMO Internet, Masatoshi Kumagai. The Japanese technology company presented the first model of its own miner. The novelty is designed and assembled on the archipelago and promises to surpass ASIC competitors. It's reported by CCN. The B2 serial number model is the first in the industry to use 7nm semiconductor chips. This allows the miner to be more productive and efficient than other devices on the market. Device from GMO should bypass S7 Antminer from Bitmain and Dragon Mint from Halong Mining. He is able to solve more computing tasks in 1 unit of time. B2 will cost miners $1,999 against $837 for the Bitmain Antminer S7-9 flagship. The GMO model is more expensive, twice as much, but gives the best performance, 24 THS against 14 in S9 with the power consumption of 1950 watts. Today GMO begins to take pre-orders. The first devices will be delivered to the miners in October. We told you earlier, we talked about the release of GMO in the mining industry in a big news release last Saturday. The Well-Wisher reported 12 critical vulnerabilities in the EOS blockchain. Last Thursday we talked about the EOS vulnerability detection campaign. The startup promised to pay $10,000 to everyone who will find a mistake in the code. The day before, Guido Rankin discovered 8 critical vulnerabilities in the EOS code in just a day. 4 more bugs are waiting for confirmation. This is reported by the Next Web. According to HackerOne, the ethical hacker has already received $90,000 from Block 1 of the developer of the EOS. Earlier, Rankin reported various bugs at the Ethereum, Ripple and Stellar platforms. "I haven't received an award for a couple of them yet. I think the final amount was something about $120,000, but I lost count. I spent about a week on everything," he said. In comments on Reddit, he added that in addition to money, he received an offer to join the Block 1 team. The State Duma proposed to use the blockchain in the elections of Mayor of Moscow. The proposal came from the representative of the LDPR, Vasily Vlasov. He proposed to the head of the SEC, Alla Pamfilova, to hold the elections of the mayor of Moscow using the technology of the distributed register. It is reported by RIA Novosti. The politician reminded, in February he sent the Pamfilova a letter with a proposal to introduce a system of electronic citizenship with blockchain functions for voting. In his opinion, the use of this technology makes remote voting possible, without the risk of interference and on condition of anonymity. To test the effectiveness of the system, I propose to hold elections for the mayor of Moscow using blockchain. The capital is the leader in the level of IT implementation in the work of the authorities. In addition, the level of turnout in the Moscow election is reduced every year. The transition of electronic and remote voting could significantly increase the turnout and reduce the cost of elections, the politician concluded. Lisk Moscow, the first blockchain meetup from the development team in the capital of Russia. On June 28 at 19 p.m. in Moscow, Cryptodealers channel will hold the first Lisk community meetup in the capital. Agenda of the meeting: Lisk technology and its ecosystem features. The developers will talk about the capabilities of the platform and the planned implementation of the tasks. Also, have a conversation with guests at the session of questions and answers. The meeting will be held at Чисто Prudny Boulevard 5 in the conference hall Andy's Friends. Registration link in the description of the issue.